is going down, sourdough squad? Hopefully you guys are doing well. I'm going to let you guys kind of trickle in here. We just kind of hopped right in, got this thing started. So if you are coming in, welcome. Shout out to all the sourdough squad out there. I can see we are slowly starting to trickle in. Keep getting in here. You already know the vibes. Drop an SDS in the chat. If you're vibing, smash that like button if you haven't already. We got some Trey Lance redemption to speak of today. Again, a lot of people started to freak out about Trey Lance. Oh no. Ian Rappaport was at practice. Oh, up and down. People starting to freak out. What have you heard on this channel consistently about Trey Lance? It's one word: patience. Patience, patience, and more patience. We are talking about a developing quarterback getting his first opportunity to start in the NFL. What do you need when that is going down? You need patience. And if you were patient, you got a show today. Love to see it. Absolutely. So, what we're going to talk about today, obviously, a big part of today's segment is going to be about Trey Lance. It is going to be about his rebound from Sunday's practice, which had people kind of a little worried out there. We're going to talk about it. We are going to go in depth. We're going to talk about the plays that he made, how he made them, and why the redemption arc is upon us. But before we get into that, smash that like button. Again, drop an SDS. We can see the numbers starting to fill up. People are ready to go about Trey Lance. You love to see it. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Oh boy, we have some good stuff to talk about. So why not get right into it? Right? Why not get right into it? We have some other things to talk about. We'll get into more of the there's screw it. We'll do it right now. Emmanuel Mosley has a quad strain, not serious. I believe it's actually a hamstring strain. Not serious. He was running on the side field today. He was moving. He was grooving. He was looking all good. Does feel precautionary at this point. We also got Dr. Disrespect out there today. Dr. Disrespect throwing bombs to George Kittle. If you didn't know, Dr. Disrespect is 6'8" and apparently can throw the ball over a mountain if he wanted to. We'll show it really quickly. Maybe we have a new contender for quarterback 2. I don't know. We'll see. But Dr. Disrespect was out at practice today dropping bombs. It was fun to see. This video is going a little viral out there on the interwebs, so always fun to see that good stuff. But let's talk a little Trey Lance. All right, let's get into it. Let's stop dragging this out. Let's talk a little bit of Trey Lance. Trey Lance had a fantastic day, and it started early. And when I say it started early in the sense of his body language. We understand that he started out practice good on Sunday. He went 3 for 3, had 3 really dynamic throws, looked really good. He had a phenomenal layered throw to Brandon Ayuk over and underneath defender. He had a rollout to the left where he popped it up, threw a little toss pass to Tyler Kroft. So on Sunday, he started out hot. He started out looking good, like that 2-minute drill from the Saturday practice before, where he drove the team downfield, scored a touchdown. We're like, all right, we're gonna get that right away. Started out hot, and then he missed a majority of his passes after that. That is when you got a lot of overreactions again on the internet. It is what it is. You know what I mean? We expect that, but again, in the theme of a developing player, we always want to see how they bounce back. What does the bounce back look like? This is football. Adversity is going to happen all the time. It's about the people who can handle the adversity and bounce back through the adversity. So that was the biggest thing that I was looking for today. I was looking to see how is Trey Lance gonna handle this. Well, what are some of the first indications of seeing how someone is handling a situation that they're going through? Again, a lot of scrutiny on Trey Lance in the national media, in the local media, or just on the internet. So, Trey Lance heard it. Trey Lance has a cell phone. He follows people on social media. He sees it. So, I wanted to see how Trey Lance was going to bounce back today. Right out the gate. You look at I always look at guys' body language in between plays to give me kind of dictate to me what is going on with that person internally. Today, Trey Lance was bobbing, he was weaving. There was one particular play, or not play, when he is warming up, he starts out practice warming up and he's working through his throws. He's doing all these different types of things. There was this one particular like transfer of periods. So he went from warming up and was going on to the next field. And he did this thing that I like really haven't seen him do before. And I'm watching him relatively closely because it's Trey Lance, it's quarterback. This is the opportunity that we get to film and do all those types of things. And like I said, I am watching body language. He did this thing transferring periods where he was hyping himself up, like where no one was around him. And you could tell by the body language that he was just like, come on, man, let's go. Like he was moving his arms, like he was like overly animated, but not directed at anyone, not for anyone else to see. You could clearly see he was having an internal dialogue with himself, getting himself ready to go. And I'm like, Jordan Elliott sitting right next to me in Niners Nation. I'm like, today's a great day for Trey Lance to cook. I'm like, today is a great day for Trey Lance to cook. And you kind of got the sense of him kind of moving around. Like, again, I saw him hyping himself up. And I was like, okay, this feels like a kind of introduction to what today was going to be. And sure enough, Trey Lance came out firing on all cylinders. Some of the early highlights that he had, and shout out the 49ers offensive line. 49ers offensive line is starting to protect better and better. And guess what? It's translating into Trey Lance feeling more comfortable. But the very first throw of the day was a dart over the middle to Brandon Ayuk for a solid, 15 to 20-yard gain. And it was great protection. And again, it was the first throw of the day. Ball came out live out of his hands, stood strong in the pocket, delivered it. It looked great. And again, how are you going to bounce back from adversity? Saturday was an adverse practice. He was a little off. It wasn't egregious on Saturday, but it was enough to be like, all right, you're definitely seeing some of the inconsistencies from the young quarterback. How's he going to bounce back? First play, dart over the middle to Brandon Ayuk. Then comes back. You had a run to Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson had a phenomenal run and cut upfield. He had a big gain. He's been looking really good. But then the very next play after that, you get a clean pocket from Trey Lance yet again from the offensive line, and he finds Brandon Ayuk again for another 20-plus yard gain over the middle. And this is when you're sitting there and you're starting to feel like, okay, Trey Lance is cooking a little bit right now. You're starting to feel kind of the vibes of Trey Lance. Then he comes back again. And this play I really liked. And this is where we start looking at the body language in between plays. Again, not throwing, but he sold the hell out of this play action. I'm telling you, like you see guys who play the quarterback position who go through the motions of play action, but he sold it. I mean, the head dropped, like everything. Like he looked like his back was to the defense, goes for the handoff, like he gets it, and then immediately pops up, sticks his back foot in the ground, and just delivers a strike to Deebo Samuel for a big chunk gain. And so like right away that he hasn't had an incomplete pass yet. He has 3 extremely confident throws, and I'm like, "Oh boy, Trey Lance is cooking." And I talk about it all the time. Play action is a learned skill for a quarterback. It is not something where turning your back to an NFL defense is just something that you feel like confident about. Like that is a learned skill. So for Trey Lance to be able to turn his back, sell it, and again, I'm telling you, he sold the hell out of it, puts his back foot in the ground, fires to Deebo Samuel for a big gain. We're like, oh boy, Trey's cooking today, baby. Then you get into red zone period, and then we saw very similar play to this earlier in the week. But again, Trey clearly has this alert because this is the second time he's done this. That if he's in red zone period and it's a straight drop back pass and he plants his back foot into the ground and he sees an opening in front of him, it's crystal clear that Kyle Shanahan has gave him the thumbs up to tuck it and run. So that's exactly what he did. He dropped back, hit his back foot in his hitch, and instantly made a split decision when everything opened in front of him, ran forward, would have been a touchdown. We got to see some Trey Lance legs today, ladies and gentlemen, and we're starting to now kind of see I think what today was really cool was seeing the dynamic of both things together. His ability to throw and his ability to run all at one time. So it was a drop back pass. Whether it was a design, I didn't look like a designed quarterback draw. It looked like, hey, if you read it and it's there, take it. So that's what he did. He dropped back, hit his back foot in his hitch, and instantly said, "I'm making a business decision, and I'm going to run it up the middle and score a touchdown." That was in red zone period. Definitely looked really, really good. He did have a miss in that red zone period. This was like one of arguably 2 or 3 misses that he had on the day. He was targeting Brandon Ayuk in the back left corner of the end zone. It was the right idea. It was a good read. Brandon Ayuk was open. He had the opportunity to get it there. But he sailed it a little bit, and you're like, okay, that was the first miscue. It was the first miscue of the entire practice, and they already had a team period, and then they're running red zone, and it was like the last play of red zone. Also, one that, like for example, I wasn't charting throws, but Jordan Elliott was of Niners Nation was charting throws next to me. There would have been a would-be sack where he just, again, when you get sacked and it's an obvious sack, they want you to continue and throw the ball, and he just threw it. I don't think that should have been charted against one of his throws because again, it was a dead play. He would have got sacked, and the play would have been over. But he just threw it into the teeth of the defense anyways. But that one, I don't think has been charted by most. But honestly, the overall takeaway of that first team period and that first red zone period was rhythm. The biggest thing that we've kind of seen from Trey Lance up until this point, and listen to the boy Hendricks, man. We only got 61 likes in this. We got the Trey Lance redemption episode going on. We only got 61 likes on this video. You already know the vibes. Get those likes up to the moon. We should be able to do numbers. Let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. And shout out all the Sourdough Squad. Shout out all the Mod Squad. We see you in here working. Gotta love it. Shout out the homies in here. 308 of us SDS in here. Smash that like button. You already know the vibes. Shout out the gang because today was a good practice. Today was a good day to be excited about the 49ers, to be excited about what they can do. Again, take away from this when we are evaluating Trey Lance, we are evaluating Trey Lance through a lens of development. Development means it's not going to happen right away. Development means it's going to be baby steps. Development means there's going to be good days, there's going to be bad days. And how do these guys respond? Today was a response day. Today was a day where the entire football world was talking about Trey Lance. Oh no, Jimmy Garoppolo still working out. Are they keeping Jimmy as an insurance policy to Trey Lance? We heard all that good stuff. We heard all that good stuff after just one kind of not so good day of practice. And how do you respond from that? As a young player, Trey Lance came out on all cylinders and was firing. Again, one of the biggest takeaways from the first period in which he was very successful was the fact that he was in rhythm. He was in rhythm. And he was, again, you've heard guys like Steve Young talk about this. It's a confidence. It's a quiet confidence. Confidence can come through body language for football players. And so Trey Lance did exactly that. And he looked really good in that first team period. Coach says this seems like more of what we'll see from Trey moving forward. I just think Kyle is leaning heavily on passing. Facts. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. That's the thing about training camp. They're working installs. They're working base offense, things like that. But I think what we are going to see is like this next play that I'm going to describe. Like I said, can you talk slower? I'll try to talk slower. I'm really excited right now. I'm really excited. Today was a fun practice. I'll try to talk a little slower, but today was a fun practice. This next play that I'm going to describe was arguably one of the most exciting plays of the day. It was a zone read keeper. I've talked about it on this channel. Again, I've been at practice every day throughout training camp, not only last year, but this year. And last year, Kyle was going crazy with zone read. And Trey was going crazy with zone read. Trey was ultra successful with the zone read. Last year in training camp. It was one of the things that was so intriguing about Trey in last year's training camp and why I felt he really did have an opportunity to be the starter last year because the zone read element was on full display. The 49ers defense could not stop it. Well, today I've been wondering where that zone read's been at. Like, well, I'm not a big quarterback power guy, but you give me the zone read. Oh, I like the zone read. The zone read is how you get 11 on 11 football going. And guess what? Almost right out the gate of the second team period, Trey Lance gets a zone read keeper. Bosa bites so hard. Again, selling it. You love to see it. Ooh, already to 100. Love to see it. But Trey hits the zone read. He sees Bosa completely crash down on Elijah Mitchell. He keeps it, bounces out to the left, and you get to see the Trey Lance wheels, ladies and gentlemen. He goes down the left sideline. He beat, I'm talking like 3 defenders to the sideline. They had an angle. He was running straight down, where they're Trey's running straight. The other guys are at an angle and they're trying to get to that point. Trey beat them to the point. And a lot of people had reported it as a 65-yard touchdown run. I'm not going to lie. I think Talanoa Hufanga would have got him. The guy, Talanoa Hufanga, people knock him for his speed. People knock Talanoa Hufanga for his speed. I have it in my notes that Talanoa would have tracked him down. Again, there's no tackling, right? There's none of that. But it was crazy because you saw Trey beat these 3 defenders to the point where they had the angle. He beat all 3 of them. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, here comes Talanoa Hufanga to come tag him off. Again, I felt like it was a Talanoa. I think Talanoa would have got him. Again, there's no tackling. Talanoa would have had to actually tackle Trey Lance, which is a task in of itself. A lot of people had it as a 65-yard touchdown, but I do got to tip my cap to Talanoa Hufanga because he came out like a Tongan missile, and he was right there. Again, this was right after Trey Lance beat three guys. Talanoa just came out of nowhere. That would have been around the 15-yard line, so it still would have been an absolutely massive gain. But it was a phenomenal run, and it really was really solid. It wasn't like they tagged him off and he just ran. He beat some guys on that particular play. So again, Trey Lance is cooking, man. Trey Lance was cooking. He had this particular play too, kind of right after that. And this is the maturation process, and these are the things that I like to see from Trey Lance. I like to see Trey Lance. He's looking to the left, right? He drops back into the pocket. His whole body language, everything. He's looking to the left. Immediately comes back to the right, delivers a strike to Deebo Samuel, and then they initiate the hurry up offense. So then now you get Trey Lance in the hurry up offense, and he is cooking downfield. Then he completes another pass to Jawan Jennings over the middle. Then right after that, they hurry up. He completes another pass out of the backfield to Jeff Wilson. Then they're moving the ball. Then he completes another pass to George Kittle right there on the one. They come up, spike the clock. Again, I cannot express enough how much Trey feels so comfortable in the hurry up offense. He really, really looks good in that offense. Someone asked, is this hat available? You already know I got you. You already know I got you. You can get all the residency hats, residency.com. Use the promo code DSF9ers. All right, back to Trey Lance. So this is now the second move the ball period where they are executing hurry up, where Trey Lance looks at home. Like he looks like this is where I belong. Trey Lance, and I've made this correlation to Trey Lance a lot. If you guys watch my videos, if you guys watch me talk about the 49ers, you watch me talk about Trey Lance, I've always talked about him as a rhythm thrower. Well, if he's a rhythm thrower, he's kind of like a rhythm player. And if you can get him into a rhythm and also, I think, hurry it up where he has less time to think and he begins to rely on instinct and rhythm, then Trey Lance, it's like it opens up this other dimension for him. And I think Trey Lance, again, proved yet again that he could absolutely do it. Now, he had to try to get a touchdown on this particular play. He targeted Jawan Jennings in the end zone. I didn't get a great look at it. I'll be perfectly honest. I didn't get a great look at it, but I do know he targeted Jawan Jennings. They were off target just a little bit. Couldn't really tell you if it was an inaccurate throw or Jawan didn't get it. But I do know it was incomplete. But still, and I think that was one of his 2 or 3 incomplete passes on the day. Again, that's minuscule to me in the grand scheme of what we are looking at. And with Trey Lance, you're seeing the development. Again, I can't talk about it enough. How he's bouncing back. Saturday was an adversity-filled day, and then the Sunday following it, or excuse me, Sunday was an adversity-filled day on the field. Monday, no practice, hearing all the noise coming from that adversity-filled day. And then being able to show up at practice with high energy and then just completely ball out was pretty special. So today was a really strong day for Trey Lance, showing yet again that he can rebound. Yet again that it might not be great right off the rip, but he has an ability to keep his head up and keep going, keep dealing, keep delivering. And that is, in essence, a trait. And that trait will be able to translate into wins down the line. again, he could throw a pick early in a game, bad pick. It's the ability to come back, not hang your head, and continue to lead your team down the field to that eventual victory. Because once you get the victory, no one cares about the pick you threw in the first quarter. They care about you coming back, putting the team on your shoulders, and getting a dub. So he looked really good. He had another play in the second team period where he was flush out the pocket to his right, comes back across, finds Brandon Ayuk over the middle. And this was actually after kind of his third incompletion. That would be, I would consider, kind of a bad throw. So what he did on this previous throw was he tried to fade off his back foot again, where he's been successful at other times, but this particular time was an almost interception. Again, I think Trey was just trying to see what he could get off, and he threw off his back shoulder, tried to get it over there. But Fred almost got it. But again, bouncing back, comes right back, flushed out of the pocket to his right, and it is able to come back and find Deebo Samuel for a nice gain. Then he throws a line drive to Jawan Jennings for another positive gain. Trey Lance was cooking today. It was a fun day to watch. Again, whether it's practice to practice or day to day or play to play, Trey continues to show this ability to rebound, and that is huge for a guy who 100% is a developing quarterback. 100% a developing quarterback. So the biggest takeaway from today is that Trey Lance rebounded. Trey Lance came out strong. The energy was up from the beginning. You could see it in his body language, and it translated to a good day. So that is huge. I think that is just as big as him actually having positive throws. I think him having positive throws is obviously fantastic. To me, it's the intangible side of it, the ability to rebound and bounce back and have good energy throughout the day, leading into team periods, which then we're seeing the outcome. He definitely had a good day out there for sure. You love to see it. Godspeed says 377, 135. Smash that like button. 100%. Let's shift gears to some other positions. I see what Coach wants to talk about. Oh, baby, let's talk about it. Coach wants to talk about Spencer Burford, my new O-line pup. He's been growing. Heard he had a great day, especially on one-on-ones. Talk about the pup. Got tons of room to grow. 100%. I think it's wild. It's wild to believe that Spencer Burford is a rookie right now because he is really playing very well. You could argue he's playing better than Aaron Banks right now. Spencer Burford shows everything that you want to see from an interior offensive lineman. One, first of all, he has immense size. Immense. He's huge. He's ginormous. He's absolutely huge and has insanely long arms. But the biggest thing about him is that not only is he massive, but he can move extremely well. He moves extremely well. And whether it's in the run game or whether it's in pass protection, Spencer Burford takes his pass blocking prowess from being a former tackle, and he's brought it inside to the guard to be able to really shore up some of that pass protection on the interior. Spencer Burford is absolutely a plus pass blocker for a guard. And that is phenomenal because if you know anything about the 49ers, whether it's, Brunskill's had his times where he struggled from the right guard spot. Mike Person struggled with pass protection. Under Kyle Shanahan, historically, they haven't had pass protecting offensive linemen. This feels like a shift. And Burford definitely has baseline pass blocking traits, and you can see it on display. Now, he'll get bull rushed here or there, but ultimately, he does show this ability to anchor and really drop his hips and be able to stop these guys at the line of scrimmage. And for his size, it's been pretty fun to see. So Spencer Burford, one, he can pull, he can run block, he can get to second level, he can pass block, he can anchor. Spencer Burford is young, just like Coach is talking about. He's a pup, which is crazy. He's a pup. He's a pup. This is his first NFL action. Like, imagine what he's going to look like in 2 years. Imagine what he's going to look like when he's ready to go. Look at Coach says he's not done growing. Look at his neck and his chest. His shoulders got like 4 more inches on them, and his arms are already very long. His feet are elite. That's the crazy thing about Burford is he looks like he could get bigger. That's the crazy thing. He looks like he could get bigger. Just growing naturally. So yes, I'm right there with you, Coach. He looks nice. He looks absolutely like what they wanted Jalen Moore to be. He is far and away earning that spot on the right guards for me. I'm really excited about it. I'm shocked by it, to be honest. But Burford is proving to be a really, really good player. And that's, I mean, 4th round pick, rookie. Laken Tomlinson heads to the Jets. Obviously, Brunskill is kicked down to compete for the center spot. So Burford, man, has been quite the development, and it's been really fun to watch. I think someone had mentioned talking about the interior with Brendel and Brunskill. So it does feel like it is trending towards Brendel. You know, Brunskill's never been like someone to stand out in one-on-ones. So I also don't think that one-on-ones are a great indication of being able to see exactly how a guy's going to translate to team period. But I do know that Brunskill is working through kind of like reteaching himself how to snap. So it's another added thing to his plate. And right now, I feel like Brendel is kind of entrenched as the starter. They're still splitting reps. They're still going back and forth. They're still rotating every other day with the starters. But I know in that locker room that Chris Forrester really likes Brendel. So I would imagine that Brendel will be the starter to begin with. We'll see how long that lasts. But based on kind of the trends that I'm seeing, it does feel like Brendel will get first shot at it. Clearly, they're in a competition, but we'll see, man. Definitely does feel like it is trending towards Brendel, and we'll see. We will see. Again, Trice says Brendel is a career backup. That scares me. He is, but doesn't mean he can't do it. And especially, who knows? You know, if Burford and Banks are playing better, he could find a role there. So we'll see. We will definitely see. Lake City Fresh talking about Burford says not to mention he is very articulate and smart. His presser was great today. He spoke with grace and showed that dog in him. And he shouted out the faithful. Yeah, Burford's going to be a great addition to this team, 100%. Donovan West has been running with the threes. He shows some wins, he shows some losses, but I think they're trying to really see what Donovan West is and seeing what he could be with the threes. I think the backup offensive lineman who's really stood out the most has been Jason Poe. It's been Jason Poe, believe it or not. That was the guy that I really wanted to see once Pad comes on, like see how he handles himself once Pad comes on. He continues to look pretty damn good. So Jason Poe is a guy that looks I don't know. It's a numbers game. I don't know who's making the roster, but I'm seeing from Jason Poe that it looks like he can play in this league. So Jason Poe looks good out there, man. He, believe it or not, he's one of the best anchoring offensive linemen out of all of them. You know, being 6'1", they all you hear it all the time. My coaches would scream at me. My coaches would scream, "Low man wins. Get your pad level down. Low man wins." Always. Guess what? He already's the lowest man. He's 6'1", and he's got the strength and the technique to back it up. He rarely gets bull rushed. He has an ability to anchor and just really hold his leverage. He can bow his back while anchoring. That allows him to give up a little bit of bend and flexibility. But he is so strong. He's so strong, and his leverage is phenomenal, and he knows how to use it. And Jason Poe, man, don't sleep on Jason Poe. I think he's going to be fun to watch. I think he's going to be fun to watch in preseason, man. I'm excited to see what Poe does. He's low key. He's low key legit. So 49ers offensive line, I'm telling you, they have been improving all throughout training camp, and specifically once you get the tackles back in with McGlinchey and Trent Williams, they are definitely looking like a serviceable offensive line. Like I'm telling you, uh, like I said, Trey Lance was able to stand in the pocket today on multiple occasions behind the starting offensive line and deal and find his progressions and feel comfortable. Now, it wasn't perfect every time, but again, it's a huge contrast to what started out with training camp, where they were just getting beat left and right. And we understand the context. There's no pads. There were shifting offensive linemen like crazy, and the offense always takes time to gel and develop. That's why if you want to, I guess, find a voice of reason. Again, I'm not perfect. I'm not an expert at everything, but I feel like I understand how football works and how to watch football, and especially when it comes to the offensive line. And what do I say? Just you gotta wait. Gotta wait a little bit. Gotta wait till we see more padded practices. Gotta wait till the pads come on. Don't judge this offensive line with no pads. Don't do it. Don't do it. I know you want to, just don't do it. Wait till they get their pads on. I think today was the 5th padded practice of training camp so far. Probably one of the best days the offensive line has had. And it's not only pass protection. It's not only pass protection, it's the run game. The run game has been looking really good. Jordan Mason busted off a big ass run today. Jeff Wilson busted off a big ass run today. TDP looks good. Trey Sermon's been looking good. Bro, even Hasty looking good. Like, oh, baby. Oh, baby. We're looking good out there, ladies and gentlemen. We're looking good. Yeah, I keep talking about it. I don't envy the 49ers and how they're going to handle this running back room. Good running backs are going to get cut. Good running backs are going to get cut. Jeff Wilson is making it very hard to be the odd man out. Jordan Mason is making it very hard to be the odd man out. By default, it feels like the first odd man out is just going to be Hasty, because you can get Jordan Mason to be able to be a threat out of the backfield as a pass catcher. So, again, I do not envy the 49ers right now, like when it comes to deciding who they're going to cut in that running back room. All these guys are capable. Any one of these guys, if we went into the year with any 4 of those running backs, we would be feeling pretty good about it. It's just gonna come down to who makes it, because it does feel like only 4 are gonna make it, and they have 6 quality backs. So gonna be very interesting. Gonna be very, 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 very interesting. Let's see. What other stuff do we want to talk about? Javon Kinlaw looked good today. let me see here before we move on. I think there's some running back questions. Brad, do you think we see Mason move up the depth chart like Mitchell last season once practices are closed to the public? Could, maybe, potentially. I think Mason's better than Hasty at this point. Hasty's just a different dynamic. Hasty would add a touchdown today. It will look like on a draw play. Hasty would add a touchdown, what looked like on a draw play, and it was actually a really nice run up the middle. But again, it's a hard problem. It's a good problem. It's a good problem to have, but it's definitely a problem. They got too many good running backs, and they've all stayed healthy so far. Knock on wood. So it could happen, but it is going to be interesting to see. Mason hasn't run with the ones yet. But he looks like he's capable of running with the ones, that's for sure. I think he's looked pretty damn good. Running back room will have a tough cut, unfortunately. Yep, 100%. My only fear is that Jordan Mason get reps with the backup O line and gets trash reps. He's been working with the backups all training camp. Like that's the thing, coach. Is he's been working with the backups all training camp and he still looks good. So if he was able to get run with the ones, I think he would look even better. Mason's an NFL back. Shout out Justin on it from the jump. The original founder of the Jordan Mason fan club. The hive is buzzing for sure. So we'll see what goes down today with that, or as we continue, I should say. Let's see here. It's going to be crazy. There's some good talent on this roster, man. There's some good talent on that roster. Let's see. Who were the cornerbacks playing ones today? You continue to get Samuel Womack in the mix at nickel, Darquez Denard, Dante Johnson, kind of all rotating in. No Emmanuel Mosley today. Charvarius Ward was kind of off to the side. For team periods, is Ambry Thomas. Guys like that. So they were a little down with the cornerbacks, but still didn't do a terrible job. Still didn't do a terrible job about it. Let's see here. I could, but I would definitely want to listen to it first. Best video of the day is me adjusting the shades. That's a pretty funny video. I'm not gonna lie. If you haven't seen it, I'll pull it up because it's pretty funny. I was out here watching Trey Lance cook. Just proof that I'm out there grinding. Just out here doing the work. Oh, look. Wake up, honey. Wake up, honey. Trey Lance Dart. I'm out here cooking tweets, looking up, surveying, pushing the glasses. Shout out my guy, Sam, who he runs KMBR's socials. He caught the ginger in the wild. He caught the ginger in the wild. Look, bro, I'm out here just watching Trey Lance cook, and I'm out here getting getting got by the paparazzi, man. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. That was funny though. But today was a good day, man. Today was a good day. Defense looked well. I'm telling you, man, Javon Kinlaw and Charles Omenihu. I really like watching those two guys play next to each other. Watching those two guys play next to each other, you get some good vibes. Charles Omenihu would have had a pass breakup because he basically just waited in the passing lane and just read Sudfeld's eyes and just jumped up and swatted it. He had another play that would have been a tackle for loss. Um, like I really like Charles Omenihu. He's been stacking a couple really good practices together. Charles Omenihu continues we all know the Arden Key role, right? Like we all remember the Arden Key role. Uh, Charles Omenihu looks like he could be even better in the Arden Key role. I think he's more dynamic of a player. I think he's more athletic. Um, I think Charles Omenihu could be even better than what Arden Key was last year, and it looks like he is that guy. They love playing him over. They love playing him over the guard, and he has a field day. When he gets to go inside, but he's able to shift in and out. They keep playing him on the edge, they bring him onto the interior. So it's really fun to watch Charles Omenihu kind of rise. He looks good. Ebukam would have had a sack today on Trey Lance in team period. Javon Kinlaw continues to show that the power is back. That he is on his way back. And could be in for a really good year. Again, we all know what it is. He's got to stay healthy, but I cannot provide enough positive reports about Javon Kinlaw so far in training camp. I definitely cannot provide enough. He's been looking really good. What do I think about Jordan Willis? He had a good day today, actually. Jordan Willis did have a good day today. The defensive end's been going crazy. Drake Jackson's looked good today. Drake Jackson's looks good in a lot of different practices. But I don't think he's going to start opposite of Bosa. Right now, it's Samson Ebukam. It's Samson Ebukam or Charles Omenihu right now. But again, they're down Eric Armstead. I don't know what that Eric Armstead coming back would look like. But right now it's Samson Ebukam, and then next up has been Charles Omenihu. Then it's a rotation at that point. But Drake Jackson has looked really good. Drake Jackson does look like he's going to be a player. Brad, update on Jordan Willis. Nick had some nice things to say. Yeah, like I said, he had a good day today. He had a couple wins in 1v1s. Willis, I think, beat School multiple times in one-on-ones based on what my notes say. So I remember talking with Jordan Elliott, and we were talking about Willis and just like how he had a couple really good reps. Drake Jackson had a really good rep in one-on-ones versus Colton McKivitz. Robert Kimdichie beat Poe on one play in one-on-ones, but Poe pretty much won every other one-on-one that he had. Banks came back, had a good rep on Omenihu in one-on-ones. Jordan Mills continues to show he's a really good pass blocker. The 49ers signed Jordan Mills a couple days ago. I'm not going to lie, Jordan Mills looks like he's a better pass blocker than Jalen Moore right now. I don't know what they're going to do with Jalen Moore, man, especially if these young guys keep stepping up. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. We'll see. Wes had a good rep in one-on-ones. Willie Snead had a really good rep on Jimmy Ward in one-on-ones. Tanner Hudson had a nice rep on Taylor Hawkins in one-on-ones. Tay Martin's an athlete, man. Tay Martin's an athlete. I don't know if Tay Martin's going to be able to make the roster, but Tay Martin is a good athlete. I definitely want him on the practice squad. Tay Martin got a W versus Diamador. Jordan Mason had a W in one-on-ones pretty convincingly. I didn't see who he was going against. Kinlaw beat Banks in one-on-ones. Kittle beat Tarvarius Moore in one-on-ones. Yeah, man. Some dogfights out there. Absolute dogfights going down. So I'm pretty excited about it. I don't think Jackson's going to start. I think he's going to be heavy in rotation, but I don't think he's going to start. That could all change with an injury here or there. But that's about it. Hyder the odd man out in DN? No, they've been playing Hyder on the interior. So with Eric Armstead out, with Hassan Ridgeway out, they have been kicking Hyder down to the interior. Oh, jeez. The bots have found us. The bots knew we were too. The bots knew we were too hyped. The bots knew we were too hyped, man. They knew we were too hyped. But Hyder's actually been playing and playing well over the guard. I don't mind him there. I definitely don't mind him there at all. Did Danny Gray do good today? He did okay. I think Danny Gray. I'm starting to get the sense from Danny Gray. He's a bit of a body catcher. It feels like that's where he feels most comfortable. Is kind of trapping the ball against his chest. But he still looks good. Like, again, the speed that he has, and everything that he's able to do, it does feel like he's going to be a guy. He's definitely going to be a guy. But I'm starting to kind of get the sense that he's a little bit of a body catcher. But he makes it work for him. He makes it work for him. How much will Trey play Friday? See, I don't know. Kyle came out today and said Trey's going to play the first preseason, take off the last preseason. Someone asked me this yesterday. I said I wouldn't play. I'd play him as a drive the first game. I'd play him a half the second game, and then I wouldn't play him the third game. Kyle's like, Brad, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to do the exact opposite of what you said. He said, if we're going to play him a lot, sounded like he was saying they're going to play him a decent amount the first game, and then a decent amount the third game, but not in the second. So that's what Kyle said. So he will play Friday. I don't know. I don't know how much. 100%. Get us to 200. We could get to 200 very quickly. We could absolutely do that. Get us to 200. How has Brock Purdy looked? He's been definition of mediocre. He definitely shows like he can complete passes and he can throw the football pretty well. It's not bad. But again, he looks like, Mr. Irrelevant. He's definitely not challenging for the second string spot, that's for sure. Nick Sakel's been struggling for sure. He's had moments where he's looked good. He's had moments where he's not looked so good. I would say Poe's having a much better camp than Sakel at this point. But Sakel, I don't know. This hasn't been. I mean, it's also a big jump for him going from Fordham to where he's at. But I guess you can make that same argument for Jason Poe. But right now, it feels like Poe is that guy that is really playing the best out of the second stringers. I think Colton's been playing pretty well for the most part. Colton has his moments where, like he had some good reps on Kamoko Ture today, but then he got on some other plays in one-on-ones. But I think Colton McKivitz feels like a lock to me with that second group. Poe is every day that if Poe comes out and has a good training camp, maybe he makes it. We'll see, man. We will see. How do our young cornerbacks look, specifically Demo and Ambry? Demo has been pretty buried on the depth chart at this point. He's been consistently running with the 2s and the 3s. He doesn't feel like he's trusted a whole lot. He's made some plays in practice, but he just feels so buried right now on the depth chart that I don't know. I don't know if I don't know. It's really hard to judge. Again, he's made some plays, but he also is buried on the depth chart. Ambry Thomas is definitely having a rough camp. Again, he's going up against some really good athletes and Brandon Ayuk, Debo Samuel, Juwan Jennings, Danny Gray. He's got some good competition, but my goodness, he is having some struggles. Ambry's getting cooked a little bit, for sure. Uh, so you kind of wanted to see Ambry come back and have a better camp because he had a pretty bad camp last year. Maybe he's just not a camp guy. I don't know. But Ambry's definitely not having a great camp. Let's see. Yes, the Hogs are protecting Trey. He said, "At 200 likes, Brad will switch hats. Make it happen." Tell him, Jesse. 346 of us smash that like button. Get this thing up to the moon. Shout out all the SDS in here. You love to see it. Oh, this is a good question. What am I looking for in the preseason from this team specifically? Well, obviously, you're mostly playing your backups, and if you play your starters, it's for a short period of time. From the starters, the biggest thing that I'm looking for is injuries. I don't want to see any injuries. That's number one. Um, Number two, from this defense, things that I'm looking for is I'm looking at the depth guys. I feel pretty good with where all the starters at. So when I'm going into preseason, I'm looking to see who these fringe guys are and if any of them can make a jump or a big enough impact in training camp where it just makes it extremely difficult to like cut these guys, or there's a bunch of position battles going on right now. So I also want to see which one of these guys potentially pulls away with it. And that's really what I'm looking for. Um, I'm definitely all eyes on depth, all eyes on these guys competing for spots. Obviously, don't want to see any injuries. I would imagine we're going to get a pretty vanilla offense. I don't think Kyle's going to do anything crazy. Um, so again, mostly I really don't want to see any starters if it was up to me. In preseason, obviously they're going to play them a little bit, but I'm definitely going to be watching the depth guys and see who stands out. Again, like Jordan Mason, want to see what Jordan Mason looks like. Want to see what Samuel Womack looks like against some other teams. Want to see guys like that. Want to see how like Charles Omenihu looks. See if they give Kinlaw some added run. All that type of stuff. Obviously, Trey Lance might play a little bit, but with Trey, just take it easy on the kid. Take it easy on the kid. Don't get too crazy with Trey. Um, Keep it pretty low key. Keep it pretty vanilla. There's a trade. The Dolphins are trading tight end Adam Shaheen to the Texans for a 6th-round pick. Does not mean anything to us. So did we hit 200? Did we hit 200? I think we did. I think we hit 200 likes, and that is perfect timing because we're right here going into an hour. So that feels like a perfect time to wrap up today's show. Again, yeah, we hit 200. Let's go. Today was a great day of practice. There's a lot of fun stuff to take away. Again, you had Dr. Disrespect out there. You got a little Dr. Disrespect out there having fun. All that type of stuff. Chris Royal says, I'd give them 2 drives unless we smash it down the field and score. If we do that, then we pull them. I agree with that. If they go down the field and score, take those guys out ASAP. But for the most part, really pleased with today's practice, especially with all the overreactions that came from Sunday's practice. And then the Monday of no practice and watching everyone talk about it. Today was a great day for Trey to answer. And I think this is what we're going to get throughout the season. You're going to have Trey have bad games. Like, believe it or not, Trey Lance might come out one day and have not so great of a game. But how does he respond to those games? We got to see the trends. Make sure the trend is going up. The arrow's pointing up. Guess what? The Trey Lance arrow is pointing up. CG says, let's collaborate soon, bro. Appreciate your work. Want to discuss O-line. Yeah, potentially hit the DMs. We'll figure it out. But yeah, for the most part, really excited about what I saw today from Trey Lance. Really looking forward to these types of progressions in his development. That's really, really what I'm looking for. So very excited about that. Today again was just another reason why it's going to pay dividends to be patient with Trey. Trey isn't going to be perfect. Trey isn't going to just be a machine. He is going to have ups and downs. It's going to happen. So that's the ones who are going to be patient and be along for the ride, not have knee-jerk reactions. Again, stack some trends together first before making an opinion. That will definitely help the overall season as it continues to progress. But again, shout out all the SDS. Appreciate all you guys tapping in. Might do a little IG live later. Say what up to the IG folks before the bots crash that. Shout out to the mod squad today. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate all the sourdough squad. As always, rocking with your ginger boy. Practice last training camp practice tomorrow. Can't believe we've made it through training camp already. But last training camp practice tomorrow is upon us. It is here, the very last one before we say goodbye. And it's truly sad. It is truly, truly sad. J-Tan says, Brad, what type of place do you see Ray Ray getting the ball? Ray Ray's shown he can get the ball deep. He's shown he can get the ball short to intermediate. He's shown he can definitely get the ball in the flat to the sideline. Ray Ray is going to be a guy. Ray Ray is going to be a guy. So let's get to 215. Well, what are we at right now? What are we at? We can get to 215. I think we're 3 away from 215. So 3 lurkers. Three sourdough lurkers. Smash that like button, and we'll get out of here at 2:15. Again, shout out to everyone who commented, who smashed that like button. We appreciate you. We appreciate you big time. And just like that, 2:15. Shout out all my sourdough lurkers. Appreciate you guys. We're out of here again. Check me out on IG. Potentially a little bit later. Appreciate all y'all. I'm out of here. Peace.